guys are so blessed. You're so blessed to have a congressman from the 1st District. I was saying this a little earlier today. I've been to Washington 6 times since he's been in office, and I've traveled with him throughout the UP and most of the district here. This is one passionate congressman who's doing it from his heart. He's given up so much, and we are so fortunate. So when we get out there on Election Day, all your friends got to remember, 1st District, Congressman Dr. Dan Benishek. Now remember on that, we got a big ballot to look at. Big ballot is propositions, the Supreme Court. Start off with voting Republican. That'll take care of most of the ballot for you. Then you flip it over. You flip it over. You got a judicial race, and here's the next test. Give me the 3 names. Markman, Zara, O'Brien. Say it again.
Markman, Zara, O'Brien.
There we go. All right, they're trained. They got to figure it out. You're not trained. All right, we'll do it again then. You just know it.
Don't screw up, Bobby.
All right, so we got our Supreme Court. You got our, you know about the 6 proposals. All right, you've studied those. That's important. Local races.
I'm mostly for sheriff.
Sheriff, okay, who's the sheriff?
All
right, you got that down. Who else? Who else we missed in local?
Wayne.
All right, and of course Wayne Schmidt. We're going to keep our state house Republican. Not any question about that. Right? Who's the leader of the state house? Jay Spolger. Got to deliver for Jay Spolger in our state house, Republican-led majority. That way, the Snyder agenda, the reinvention of Michigan, keeping our state on track, which is so critical for our children and our grandchildren, that will happen. So, keeping our state house, keeping our Supreme Court, that's what makes Michigan continue to move forward. Along the way, we elect Dan, we elect Pete Hoekstra. How about that? Getting ready to Debbie Stabenow. Time for No Budget Debbie, who serves on the Budget Committee. No Budget Debbie serves on the Budget Committee. More than 3 years of no budgets. Time for her to go. Debbie's sitting out. All right, no name calling. Just call it the way it is. Truth hurts. What's that?
Good. Thanks, Bobby. I'm so glad to see you all here today. It's just great to be here to welcome the Romney team to Northern Michigan. All right. You know, it's been my great pleasure and privilege to represent Northern Michigan in Congress for the last almost 2 years. And, you know, I never was involved in politics before 2010. When, you know, like many of you, I was just disgusted by what was going on in Washington. You know, they're spending away our children's future, mortgaging their livelihoods. I mean, when they had that stimulus bill where they spent $1 trillion of money we didn't have on a bill they didn't even read, I'm going, I can do a better job than that. I mean, I can read the legislation. And I've been working to do just that there in Washington. And you know, in 2010, we won 87 House seats, all right? And that was a huge, that was like the biggest number since like the Civil War or something. And this year, we have a chance to complete the job, all right? Because, you know, we were able to put a stop to Mr. Obama's agenda, but we were not able to peel back the stuff that he had done in the first 2 years because we didn't have a Senate. And the White House is not going to agree with any of that. This time, in 2012, we can complete what we started in 2010. You know, we can keep the House. We can win the Senate, and we can make Governor Romney the next president of the United States. It's so important that you're all here. It's so important that you're all here today. It's time for me to introduce my good friend here, Bill Schuette, the Attorney General of the great state of Michigan, and a renowned gentleman, has multiple jobs. He's been a colleague. He's been a mentor to me, and I want to just take the time to say to you, please welcome Bill Schuette, our Attorney General.
All right, I am Bill Schuette, your on-duty Attorney General. It is great to be here. Now, I got a couple questions for you. Is everybody on duty here right now? Yes. Like my old football coach would say, I can't hear you. Is everybody on duty? That's better. That's great. That's great. Well, I'm delighted to be here, and as your Attorney General, I need to give you a couple of charges and some requirements, and whether you're young or not as young. One of your first responsibilities 8 days from now is making sure you elect Dan Benishek as the next congressman from Grand Traverse County. It is absolutely essential. Dan's the man. Dr. Dan, what he will provide as a congressman understands we need to keep tax rates low. We need to stop the spending, stop the debt. And one of your key responsibilities is making sure you send him to Congress. He's the guy we need to help Mitt Romney as the next President of the United States. Remember Dan Benishek one more time. Give it up for him. Now, we have 8 days left to go, and I tell you, we're going to win this thing, and Mitt Romney is going to be the next President of the United States. That's what's going to happen. Now, when you leave here today, you'll go back maybe to school, or maybe it's, might be back at work, it might be a civic group, what have you. Maybe it's a church meeting, whatever it might be. You need to make sure when you talk to your friends and your neighbors, you let them know how important this election is. And when you talk to folks, it's, this is pretty direct. And the fact is, if you want more freedom, you're voting for Mitt Romney. If you want more government, it's Barack Obama. And, the problem is our president has diminished hopes for America, I think. He sees lessened expectations, and where he sees a shrinking economic pie, where you cut up this shrinking pie with an Obama redistributionist tax warfare knife to hand out the crumbs to special interests that help him get reelected. That's not what America is about. America is a place where we have unlimited expectations, where our dreams are as big as the sky, and where we have America where we build bigger and bigger economic pies, where you give a woman and a girl for taking a risk and building a job, where you say to that entrepreneur, we want to reward excellence, and we want to have America where you encourage freedom, entrepreneurship, and you say, we want folks to succeed. That's what the America we need, and that's what Mitt Romney feels as the next President of the United States. So, we about ready? Now let me know this. I've had the privilege of being one of the co-chairs of the Mitt Romney for President campaign here in Michigan. And I've had the privilege of working with Mitt and his marvelous wife. And what happens when we elect Mitt Romney as the next President of the United States? We're going to have a First Lady who's smart, magnificent, talented, and ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the next First Lady of the United States of America, Ann Romney. Give it up for Ann Romney, ladies and gentlemen. She's the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you got to be on duty for Ann Romney.
Oh, Schuette, on duty. That's great. Oh, I must be in Michigan. I love Michigan. Oh, we have to win this state. I won't be happy if we don't win this state. I love northern Michigan especially. I think a lot of you know that I grew up in Manistee, and just coming up here, I remember all those things about childhood, and it's the funny things that you remember about childhood, the way the pine trees, the smell, that evergreen smell, just that fresh air that you smell up here in the northern beautiful, beautiful Michigan. I love walking in the sand in the Great Lakes, just getting it's cold water up here, isn't it? But I still went in. We got in. It was great. Such fond memories. We love this state so much, and I have. Oh, thank you. And then to think of the heritage that we have in this state, George Romney and Lenore Romney. Oh my gosh, they're such fantastic people. We love them and we miss them. And thank you, that's to George. The thing is that's amazing is that we would never even have occurred to us to get involved in politics if it had not been the example of George Romney. So I really feel like we're standing on his shoulders here in Michigan. He set such a wonderful example. And if you want to see how Mitt's going to govern, look how he governed as governor of Massachusetts, but also look to George Romney, because Mitt is so like his dad, and in so many ways like his dad. Honest, fair, does the right thing, doesn't put his finger in the air to figure out which way he's gonna go. What I know about Mitt is he will not fail, and he is going to do the right thing for America. A lot of you know that you may have heard me say this before. When last cycle, I've been traveling with Cindy McCain, and she and I laugh about it. At the end of the last cycle, when John McCain won fair and square, I got a video camera, like what you all are holding up right now. And I made a little video for Mitt, and I said in this video, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. And I showed it to Mitt, and he laughed, and he said, Ann, you say that after every pregnancy. So I don't know if I believe you. Good thing he didn't believe me, because here I am. I'm in this. Boy, am I in this this time, because when it came time to make that decision again, all I needed to know is really, was it too late to save America? Because we all know we're heading down the wrong path. And I said, you know, Mitt, I don't want to go through all this again. If you're going to tell me if you finally get through the primaries and you beat an incumbent president, which isn't easy, but we're going to do, I said, is it going to be too late when you finally get there? He said, it's growing late, but it's not too late yet. So guess what we've got to do? We got to make sure that Mitt gets in there and does the right thing and gets this country back on track again. We love this country. We've got to get it right this time. It's been a great journey. One of my favorite things happened when I was in Houston, Texas, and Barbara Bush was introducing me. And she is one of my favorites, as you might imagine. By the way, in person, she's exactly what you see on TV. Blunt, outspoken, and wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And when she introduced me, she said something quite interesting. She said, do you know something? I'm not young anymore, and she's not. She's like 87 years old. She said, but this is the most important election in my lifetime. And I thought, wow, is that something? Coming from the wife of a president and the mother of a president, this is the most important election of a lifetime. And so we got to make this one count, guys. We got to get everybody out. We got to get it going. We love Michigan. We love the United States of America. We love the fact that so many of you have turned out for us today. This is a wonderful thing and a wonderful sign, which shows the enthusiasm. We are going to win. We are going to win in November, and Mitt is going to be the next president of the United States. Thank you all. Thank you. Let's see. Pass this microphone to somebody. There.
You're welcome. Over.